From a tiara-wearing toddler who captivated the world with a bottle of go-go juice and unapologetic sass to a young woman navigating love, law, and the long chaotic shadow of her infamous family, the story of Alana "Honey Boo Boo" Thompson is a modern American epic played out for all of us to see. Today, we are diving deep into a story that has more twists and turns than a back road in rural Georgia. It's a story about young love, a deeply troubled family history, an illegal bombshell that threatens to derail everything. We're talking, of course, about Alana Thompson, her boyfriend, Dralin Carswell, and the million-dollar question that looms over them. What is the truth about Dralin's future? Is he a good kid who made a bad mistake? Or is he, as Mama June seems to fear, a dangerous echo of her own past, poised to drag Alana down a path of destruction? The headlines have been brutal. DUI. Fleeing from police. Drug charges. For a young man tied to one of reality TV's most famous families, the stakes couldn't be higher. But to understand how we got here and where this is all going, we can't just look at the arrest report. We have to go back, way back. We need to unravel the complicated tapestry of the Shannon family. A family that has built an empire on dysfunction and turned crisis into a commodity. This is a deep dive. We'll be breaking down Dralin's exact legal situation, exploring Mama June's shocking hypocrisy, and analyzing the psychological weight on a young woman who just wants to live a normal life. So grab a drink, get comfortable, because this is the story they don't always show you on TV. Hey, everyone, welcome back to Boo Boo Update. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for all the latest updates on Mama June family. Today, we've got something exciting to talk about, Honey Boo Boo family. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. So grab a seat and let's dive right in. To truly comprehend the gravity of Alana's current situation with Dralin, we have to understand the world she was born into. Alana Thompson wasn't just a reality TV star, she was a cultural phenomenon. At 6 years old, she was a pint-sized force of nature on TLC's, Toddlers, and Tiaras. She was loud, she was funny, and she was completely, authentically herself in a world of spray tans and fake smiles. The world fell in love not just with Alana, but with her entire unconventional family, her mother, June Shannon, the coupon-clipping matriarch. Her sisters, Lauren Pumpkin Effort, Jessica Chubbs Shannon, and Anna Chickadees Cardwell, and her father, Mike Sugar Bear Thompson. They were a chaotic, messy, but seemingly loving unit. TLC quickly gave them their own spin-off, Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, and it became a ratings juggernaut. It was a spectacle of rural American life that some critics derided as exploitative, but millions of viewers found endearing. It was real. It was raw. And at the center of it all was Alana, a child shouldering the weight of a multi-million-dollar franchise. But behind the laughter and the catchphrases, a darker foundation was being laid. The family's life was completely intertwined with television production. Every argument, every milestone, every deeply personal moment became a potential storyline for a child. The line between real life and reality TV becomes irrevocably blurred. Your home is a set. Your family members are your co-stars. Your childhood is content. This is the critical context for everything that follows. Alana learned from a very young age that love, conflict, and money are all tangled together in a complicated public performance. And then the first empire crumbled in 2014. The show was abruptly cancelled amidst a shocking scandal involving Mama June's relationship with a man who had served time for molesting one of her own daughters, Anna. The family's wholesome, if chaotic, image was shattered. This was Alana's first major public trauma. The security of her show, the thing that had defined her entire young life, was ripped away under a cloud of shame and public scrutiny. She was just 9 years old, but this, as we all know, was just the beginning of the turmoil. The family rebranded, and the next chapter would be even more destructive. Mama June, From Not to Hot, premiered on WETV in 2017. It was framed as a redemption story, focusing on June's revenge body after her split from Sugar Bear. But this redemption arc soon spiraled into a horrifying cautionary tale. June's relationship with Gino Dope coincided with a devastating descent into heavy drug addiction. We're talking about a multi-thousand-dollar-a-day crack cocaine habit. The show, ever present, documented the fallout. It was no longer about a revenge body. It was about survival. The series was even renamed Mama June, Family Crisis. And who was at the heart of that crisis? Alana. Imagine being a teenager. You're trying to navigate high school friendships and your own identity. But instead of a stable home, you're watching your mother completely disappear into addiction. You're seeing her on the news, getting arrested at a gas station with drug paraphernalia. Her home is trashed. Her money is gone. She's selling her belongings for drug money. This isn't a scripted drama. This was Alana Thompson's reality, and it was all being filmed. In one of the most heartbreaking scenes in reality television history, a then 14-year-old Alana sat in a room with her family and a therapist for an intervention, crying and telling her mother, "I don't even know who you are anymore." During this dark period, Alana's older sister, Lauren Pumpkin Efford, did something remarkable. At just 19 years old, with a young child of her own, she stepped up and took legal guardianship of Alana. She provided the stability, the safety, and the parental guidance that June could not. This act of sacrifice and love is central to the family dynamic we see today. It solidified Pumpkin's role as the de facto matriarch and created a deep, protective bond between the sisters. It also, crucially, sowed the seeds of deep resentment and mistrust towards June, even after she got clean. So let's recap before we bring Dralin into the picture. By the time Alana is 16, she has experienced global childhood fame and the pressures that come with it. The public shaming and cancellation of her first show. The complete abandonment by her mother due to a severe publicly documented drug addiction. The trauma of watching her mother's life crumble, including arrests and financial ruin, being forced to move in with her sister, effectively losing her mother for several years. This is the young woman Dralin Carswell met. Not a carefree teenager, but a veteran of trauma, a survivor of chaos, and someone desperately craving stability and genuine affection, far away from the cameras she grew up in front of. And for a while, it seemed like she had found it. In 2021, a new face appeared on Alana's Instagram feed, a 20-year-old college student named Dralin Carswell. Alana was 16. Immediately, the relationship was thrust under a microscope. The first point of contention for the public and the media was, of course, the age gap. A 4-year difference might not seem significant for older adults, but when one partner is a minor, a 16-year-old junior in high school, and the other is a 20-year-old legal adult, it raises eyebrows. Tabloids ran wild with headlines questioning the appropriateness of the relationship. The family, however, seemed to close ranks around Alana. Pumpkin, her legal guardian, gave her blessing. In interviews, she stated that she had met Dralin, that he was a good guy, and that she trusted Alana's judgment. This was a significant endorsement. Pumpkin, who had rescued Alana from the chaos of Mama June's addiction, was not going to let just anyone into her sister's life. Her approval suggested that behind the scenes, Dralin had passed a crucial test. He was presented as a stabilizing force. He was reportedly shy, not interested in the reality TV fame, and supportive of Alana's ambitions. He was the normal that she had been missing. They attended her senior prom together. He was there for her high school graduation. When she decided to move to Colorado for college to pursue a degree in neonatal nursing, Dralin packed his bags and moved with her. On the surface, it looked like a fairy tale ending to a turbulent childhood. Alana had broken the cycle. She was the first in her family to go to college. She had left Georgia, the epicenter of her family's drama, to start a new life. And she had a supportive partner by her side. But this is the Shannon family we're talking about. Stability is often just the calm before the storm. And the storm arrived in the form of flashing blue lights. Let's talk about Mama June's role in all of this. By this point, June was sober. She had married a new man, Justin Stroud, and was desperately trying to reinsert herself into her daughters' lives. Her primary currency for doing so? Money and unsolicited advice. June's reaction to Dralin was, and remains, a fascinating case study in hypocrisy from the moment she re-entered the picture. She positioned herself as the concerned mother, suspicious of Alana's much older boyfriend on the show. Mama June family crisis. We see her constantly questioning Dralin's intentions. You're 16. You shouldn't be living with number 20-year-old man. What is his intentions? What is he wanting from you? Is he wanting the fame? Is he wanting the money? Chris, now let's pause and analyze this. Is it a mother's right, and even her duty, to be concerned about her teenage daughter's relationship with an older man? Absolutely. Any responsible parent would ask these questions. But June Shannon is not just any parent. This is a woman whose own history with men is a catalogue of catastrophe. Her relationship choices directly led to her show being cancelled and her children being traumatized. Her relationship with Gino Doak led her to abandon Alana, sell the family home, and get arrested on felony drug charges. For June to appoint herself the arbiter of appropriate relationships is, to put it mildly, ironic. Her daughters see it as the height of hypocrisy. They lived through the consequences of her choices. Pumpkin, in particular, has been vocal about this on the show. Pumpkin, you're one to talk about who Alana is dating. You were shacked up with Gino high as a kite while I was raising your daughter. You don't get to come in here now and act like Mother of the Year, Chris. This creates a central conflict. Is June's concern for Alana genuine, born from a place of regret and a desire to prevent her daughter from repeating her mistakes? Or is it a manipulative tactic to regain control over a daughter who has become increasingly independent? Is it a way to create drama for the television show that pays her bills? The answer is likely a messy combination of all three. Trauma is complicated. It's plausible that seeing Alana in a serious relationship triggers June's own fears and regrets. She knows firsthand how a bad relationship can destroy a life. She may genuinely be terrified of Alana falling into the same traps. However, her delivery is often controlling and dismissive. She rarely validates Alana's feelings or trusts her judgment. Instead, she bulldozes conversations with accusations and warnings, which only serves to push Alana further away and strengthen her bond with Dralin. In defying her mother, Alana is asserting her independence, an independence she was forced to develop at a young age precisely because of June's absence. Dralin, in this dynamic, became more than just a boyfriend. He became a symbol of Alana's autonomy. Choosing him was choosing a life separate from her mother's control. Defending him was defending her own right to make her own choices and her own mistakes. And then Dralin made a very, very big mistake, a mistake that handed Mama June the ultimate I told you so moment on a silver platter and threatened to prove her right all along on February 28, 2023. The illusion of a quiet, normal life for Alana and Dralin was shattered. The incident began simply enough, a traffic stop in Monroe County, Georgia. But it escalated quickly. According to the police report, officers attempted to pull over a Dodge Charger for following another vehicle too closely. The Charger, driven by Dralin with Alana in the passenger seat, allegedly did not stop. Instead, it led police on a brief 3-mile chase. When they were finally stopped, the situation went from bad to worse. Officers detected the smell of marijuana. A search of the vehicle and Dralin's person allegedly uncovered a quantity of marijuana and an unregistered firearm. But the most serious charge stemmed from Dralin's condition. He was suspected of driving under the influence. Let's be crystal clear about the charges Dralin Carswell was facing. This wasn't a simple speeding ticket. He was arrested and booked on 4 specific counts. Driving under the influence. DUI. This is a serious offense in any state, carrying potential jail time, license suspension, and hefty fines. Fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer. This is often a felony charge indicating a willful attempt to escape law enforcement, which judges and prosecutors take very seriously. Possession of marijuana. Less than 1 ounce, while decriminalized in some places, it remains illegal in Georgia, following too closely the initial traffic violation that triggered the entire event. Alana, who was in the passenger seat, was not charged. She was a minor at the time, 17 years old, and was temporarily taken into custody before being picked up by her guardian, Pumpkin. The fallout was immediate and explosive. The mugshot was everywhere. 1525. The story was picked up by every major entertainment news outlet, from TMZ to People magazine. For the family's critics, this was vindication. It confirmed their suspicions that Dralin was bad news. For Mama June, it was the ammunition she had been waiting for. The timing could not have been worse. This happened just as Alana was preparing to graduate high school and embark on her college journey. It cast a dark cloud over what should have been a triumphant and hopeful time in her life. Now, let's get into the legal nitty-gritty, because this is where the truth about Dralin's future really lies. After the arrest, there is a long legal process. There are court dates, motions filed by lawyers, and negotiations between the defense and the prosecution. For over a year, Dralin's fate hung in the balance. The family and the show milked the drama for all it was worth. We saw countless scenes of June predicting doom and gloom, telling Alana that Dralin was going to prison and that she needed to abandon him. Dralin is looking at some real serious jail time, and Alana needs to wake up and see that. You can't build a future with someone who's building a home in a jail cell. I know, I've been there. I've done it. Chris, again, the painful irony. June is speaking from a place of experience. She has been there. She knows the devastation that legal troubles and incarceration can bring to a family. She and Gino were facing serious felony charges that could have landed them in prison for years. They both ultimately avoided prison. But not without immense legal and financial costs. So, when she warns Alana, she's not just speculating. She's reliving her own trauma and projecting it onto her daughter's situation. The problem is, her past actions have stripped her of the moral authority to deliver that message effectively. To Alana and Pumpkin, it sounds less like genuine concern and more like a morbid, self-serving prediction. Throughout this period, Alana stood by Dralin. She maintained a united front on social media and in public. This loyalty is significant. It shows a level of commitment that goes beyond a simple teenage romance. Whether you view it as admirable devotion or naive denial, she refused to abandon him at his lowest point. This decision created a massive rift between her and June. Finally, in March 2024, more than a year after the arrest, the case reached its conclusion. Dralin Carswell accepted a plea deal. This is a critical point that many people misunderstand. A plea deal is a negotiation in exchange for pleading guilty to certain charges. The prosecution often agrees to drop others or recommend a lighter sentence. It avoids a costly and uncertain trial. So what was the deal? What does Dralin's future actually look like, according to official court records? Dralin pleaded guilty to the DUI charge and the charge of following too closely. In exchange, the more serious charges fleeing from the police and the marijuana possession were reportedly dropped at Chris. This is the bombshell truth of the situation. Despite a year of on-screen drama, predictions of lengthy prison sentences, and Mama June's dire warnings, the legal reality is far less sensational. Dralin's future is not behind bars. However, to say he got off scot-free would be a massive mischaracterization. 2 years of probation is a very serious thing. It's what's known in the legal world as a hanging sentence. His freedom is conditional. For the next 2 years, he will live under a microscope.